I flew into San Juan from San Jose, Costa Rica via Fort Lauderdale in Florida. San Juan has a very good and cheap bus service, so I took the bus from the airport to the city centre. After spending several hours tramping the streets and finding that all the backpacker hostels were full, I was eventually told about this brand new place, the Hostel San Juan. This is my dorm. The conversion to a hostel was still not complete. This is Karina adding some internal artwork to one of the bedrooms. The nearby Placita de Santurce is a market by day and the scene of some of the town's hottest nightlife at night. Compared with the very large markets usually seen in Central America, this is a small but very pleasant affair. From here, I walked to Old San Juan via the Laguna Condado Nature Reserve with its stilt-rooted mangroves. Walking onwards past the racing traffic, the modern city suddenly stops and the old town starts. Old San Juan was founded in 1521, making it the second oldest European founded settlement in the Americas. These days, it's a lively centre for tourism, with several cruise ships calling in weekly. This is part of the old original city wall. But for me, the main enjoyment lay in just strolling around, soaking up the sights and the general atmosphere. The big yellow building behind is the old convent, now converted into a beautiful hotel. After a day's sightseeing in the city, I hired a taxi driver to take me to the El Yunque National Forest for the day. This is one of the wettest places in the whole Caribbean. It rains almost every day, and it certainly rained while I was there. The vegetation is always glistening with water. These beautiful tree ferns are a characteristic feature of the forest. There are numerous flowers whose names I didn't know. Although I think this is possibly a species of begonia.
There's a lot of tourism. There's a lot of tourists all over daily.
At one point, the rain became so intense that we had to take cover for 10 minutes under a shelter. When we eventually reached the crest of the hill, we climbed up a stone-built tower for a view over the forest. These palms occur here in thousands, and yet they're found nowhere else in the world, only on Puerto Rico.
There you go, guys. Check out.
Just over there is the sea, which I could just about glimpse through the cloud. Being so rainy, this walking stick was the only insect we saw. A year or two earlier, much of this beautiful forest had been flattened by a hurricane. The day after visiting El Yunque, the same taxi driver took me down to the state forest at Guanica. Despite being on the same small island, in El Yunque it's raining virtually every day, whereas in Guanica it hasn't rained for well over a year. Not surprisingly, the vegetation here is a big contrast with El Yunque. Here it's dry forest and cactus plants. This is Manu, my taxi driver, having a look. The blue stems are typical of this genus of cactus, Pilosocereus. This is really why I included Puerto Rico on my trip. To see close up this amazing species of Turk's cap cactus, Melocactus intortus. This cactus is so bizarre that it even gets a mention in the Lonely Planet Guide to Guanica. On the way back, we climbed up over this mountain named after women's breasts. This is why it's so dry where we've just been. This keeps all the rain away. On the other side, we're going down now, it has been raining on and off all day, down towards San Juan. This phenomenon is known as rain shadow. On my fifth and final day in Puerto Rico, I visited the Santurce area of San Juan to see the famous street art. Now, instead of listening to me talking, we'll listen to one of my songs, recorded by the Prop House Casuals.
Chainsaws carve their way through a grove of ancient trees. Smoke forms a shroud above the rainforest bones. The logger and the poacher seem to do as they please, and the great trees surrender their lives in a spasm of groans. How would you feel if the rainforest went the same way as the dinosaur and dodo? How would you feel if you knew it was the end of that great evolutionary roadshow as our numbers inexorably grow? Restless Sahara stands on the march, pushing at its frontiers like a neighbor from hell. Ringside seats, grasslands starting to parch, rivers running dry and no water left deep in the well. How would you feel if the desert spread so
And so, as the music fades away, we look at a map showing my next destination, Punta Cana in the Dominican Republic.